Jackie. Jackie, Jackie, Jackie. Hello. E-I-E-I-O. Jackie. Jackie. Annapolis. Where's Annapolis? Yeah, and where's Clover Park Cricket? Clover Park Cricket. And where's Elvis? Where's Elvis?
No, Daddy's not Elvis.
No. Oh. That what you get. That's it. Good boy.
The bond between two people that love one another doesn't have the appropriate words to be able to fully do it justice. So I won't try to. But this bond can often bring pain when you have to say a final goodbye to that person that you've lost. And no matter how many people rally around you, tell you that they're here for you, you always end up going through this alone. Because no matter who it is that offers their help, no matter how close they are to you, only you had that individual, unique relationship with the person that you've lost. And now, because of this video, you can feel less alone in however it is that you're feeling, however long it's been since you lost somebody. You can feel like someone out there gets it. Because I know when I was going through this, that's how I needed to feel. And what I truly needed to feel was like the whole world wasn't just spinning round around me, wasn't just carrying on, and nobody out there knew how much of a loss that I'd suffered, and just what a big deal that was. And that's probably how you might be feeling now, or have felt before, and didn't feel like you could relate to anyone. But it's okay. You will be okay. This video is proof alone that there are people out there who get exactly how you are feeling, and I really hope this helps. Before I get into what I've found out about getting through grief, or trying to get through it anyway, I want to tell you about my hero. My dad. Of course, things weren't always perfect, as most sons do, especially when I was a teenager. We butted heads an awful lot, came to clashing points. But that is just because of how similar we were. He was always forthright, charismatic. Most naturally ended up turning to him to solve any problem, to go to in any situation. He was always someone that you can immediately notice when he entered a room or couldn't help laughing with whenever you heard him start laughing at something. You just picked it up with him, you know? He always held people to a high standard. And naturally, that didn't always come across in the right way to people, but he held himself to a higher standard still. And sadly, even though most looked to him and saw this mountain of a man, this force of nature, he did not share that vision of himself. And in fact, he actually had a low vision of himself. And because he had that, that only made him more of a hero to me, because it showed that he was human. He wasn't up on some sort of grand pedestal. And that meant that I could hopefully one day manage to achieve this level of stubborn, yet caring, gigantic character that he exuded. He seemed like the sort of character that would live forever. The sort of person who the world would simply be left wanting without his presence in it, you know? Then on the 29th of September 2018, it all came crashing down. My dad was diagnosed with a brain tumour. And after a course of steroid and radiotherapy treatment over the build-up to that Christmas, the cancer had spread to his lymph node system. And at that time, the only treatment available to him was gene therapy, which, given his age and his health at the time, had a much higher chance at killing him than it did curing him. So that is when my dad began his palliative care. He never complained. He never showed discomfort or pain. He just kept smiling. All the way until his final week. And that's when, on the 11th of February 2019, I got a life-altering phone call. I had to say goodbye to my father. When I got home, the doctors were all gathered round. They were telling us that effectively that night would be the night that he passed away. And death is something that no mortal being can ever escape. It's something that affects everyone, rich, poor, no matter what gender you are, no matter what race you are, no matter who you love. Death is the eventuality for all of us. It's a force of nature, a literal force of nature. And the whole week, my dad carried on. He persisted day after day after day for an entire week, every single day asking, what's the date? I need to know the date. What's the date? What's the date? He was asking that because it was my 20th birthday on the 17th of February, later that week. And he needed to know. He needed to know that that he wasn't going to go until he'd seen my 20th birthday. Imagine that. A mortal man, just like the rest of us, just like anybody else in the world. And yet, he faced a literal force of nature and told it to wait. The man literally held back death itself so that he could see my 20th birthday. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be the son of someone that can hold back a literal force of nature that takes everyone, every single mortal being in existence. And yet my dad held that back for an entire week. It said, no, I'm leaving with you on my terms. And if I can become one day a fraction of someone with that level of willpower and strength and character, then I will be so proud, and I know he would too. The young boy born and raised in Reading. The young man that got out and travelled the world. The wise man who became a father. The stoic man who became a hero to his son. All his memories, all his thoughts, all his emotions, they were gone. We are all but specks of dust on a great cosmic wind. A wind that blew long before any of us were around, and a wind that will continue to blow long after all of us are gone. Think of every human being like a candle. Every single one is destined to end as soon as it is lit. We all have a certain time here, and unfortunately, for every single one of us, that will come to an end someday. And as the sun sets on one life, it rises on another. Flowers bloom, and they wilt, and then their children bloom again. Every cycle comes to an end and gives birth to a new cycle.
It's all part of nature. We're all given a certain set time on this earth, and then we must go. So don't feel sorrow that it's ended, that somebody that you care about is gone. Think on all the happy memories you have with them. Be happy that you have those memories, that you have this everlasting love for that person long after they're gone. Things may seem truly dark, but on the darkest of nights you can see stars as far as the horizon stretches. You'll be okay. Things may seem really tough now, but you will be okay. You will get through this. This is truly a chance for you to start something new. The chance for a clean slate. To go forwards with the inspiration that whoever it is that you've lost has left with you. They'll always be with you. Even though they can't physically be here anymore, they will always be with you. In your mind, in your heart, in your dreams. There'll always be that little voice speaking on your shoulder, guiding you through everything that you do. Because after all, we are simply cosmic dust blowing in the wind. We are insignificant, and yet, to each other, we hold more significance than anything imaginable. It is simply beautiful just how much love goes on. How it transcends an entire physical existence. How we can leave such an intrinsic imprint on one another that even in death we're not truly gone. Nobody's truly gone, not unless you leave them behind. And frankly, I don't think that's a possibility, is it? And you shouldn't, because it's not a weight, it's not a burden to be feeling like you are about whoever it is that you've lost. It is a blessing, because you got to love that person so intensely that it will never leave you. They will never leave you.
See you later. See you later, Jackie.